My name is Liora. I live in a small town near the sea. The air smells like salt and rain. I like it here. It feels calm. It feels safe. I have a young son. His name is Kalen. I love his name. I chose it with care. I chose it with my heart. When I was pregnant, I spent many nights thinking about his name. I sat by the window. I listened to the wind. I wrote many names on paper. I crossed them out. I tried again. I wanted something special. I wanted something that felt like home. Kalen is a Celtic name. It comes from my family. My grandmother used to tell me stories about our roots. She spoke slowly. She smiled softly. She told me, names carry history. Names carry love. I remembered her words. I kept them in my heart. So when my son was born, I looked at him and said, "Your name is Kalen." It felt right. It felt warm. I felt proud. I felt happy. People often ask me about his name. Some people smile. Some people say, "That is beautiful." But not everyone is kind. Not everyone understands. One day, I took Kalen to a small cafe. It was a quiet place. Soft music was playing. The smell of coffee filled the air. I liked that place. I went there often. I sat by the window again, like I did at home. Kalen sat in his small chair. He was playing with a wooden spoon. He tapped it on the table. Tap, tap, tap. He laughed. I laughed too. A woman sat at the table next to us. She looked at me. Then she looked at Kalen. At first, I did not think much about it. People look at babies. It is normal. She leaned a little closer and smiled. "He is cute," she said. "Thank you," I said. I felt relaxed. "What is his name?" she asked. "His name is Kalen," I said. She stopped smiling. Her face changed. I noticed it right away. It made me feel a little strange. "Kalen," she repeated. "How do you spell that?" I told her, Caelan. She made a small sound. Not a happy sound. It was more like a laugh, but not kind. "Why would you spell it like that?" she asked. I blinked. I felt confused. "It is a traditional spelling," I said slowly. "It comes from my culture." She tilted her head. "But why not spell it simple, like Kalen or something easier?" I felt something in my chest, a small, tight feeling. I did not like her tone, but I tried to stay calm. I always try to stay calm. "Because this is the real spelling," I said. "It is important to me." She shook her head. "It looks strange," she said. "People will not know how to say it." I looked at Kalen. He was still tapping the spoon. Tap, tap, tap. He did not understand. He was just a child. My child. "I think it is fine," I said quietly. She laughed again. "It sounds like one of those internet names," she said. "You know, those tragedy names." I did not know that word very well, but I understood the feeling. It was not kind. It was not nice. I felt my face get warm. I felt my hands get tight. I took a slow breath. I told myself, "Stay calm, stay calm." "It is not like that," I said. "It is a real name. It has history." She waved her hand like it did not matter. "Still," she said, "it looks like you tried too hard to be special." Her words hurt. They hurt more than I expected. I looked down at my coffee. I did not want to fight. I just wanted a quiet morning. I just wanted peace. I like his name, I said softly. She leaned back in her chair. Well, I don't, she said. There was a pause, a long pause. The music in the cafe felt louder now. The sound of cups and plates felt sharp. I tried to ignore her. I really tried. I picked up my cup. My hands were shaking a little. I took a sip. It tasted bitter. Everything felt bitter. Kalen looked at me. Mama, he said. I smiled at him. I wanted to protect him. I wanted to keep this moment soft and safe. But the woman spoke again. You know, she said, kids can be mean. They will make fun of him because of that name. My heart dropped. I felt fear. I felt anger. I felt many things at the same time. I will teach him to be strong, I said. She shrugged. Or you could just give him a normal name, she said. That word again. Normal. I did not like that word. It made me feel small. It made me feel wrong. I looked at her. This time, I did not smile. I did not try to hide my feelings. His name is normal to me, I said. She rolled her eyes. Okay, she said, but her voice was not kind. I felt tired. I felt very tired. I did not want to sit there anymore. I did not want to hear her voice again. But I stayed. I stayed because I did not want to run away. I stayed because I felt something growing inside me. Something strong. Something heavy. Kalen dropped the spoon. It hit the floor with a small sound. I bent down to pick it up. I needed a moment. Just a moment to breathe. When I sat back up, the woman was still looking at me. And I knew. This was not over. I sat there with the spoon in my hand. I cleaned it slowly with a napkin. My fingers moved, but my mind felt busy. Very busy. I could still feel her eyes on me. It made me uncomfortable. It made me tense. I gave the spoon back to Kalen. He smiled. He did not know anything was wrong. He was happy, simple and happy. I wished I could feel the same. I wished I could go back to that calm feeling from before. But I could not. The woman leaned forward again. She was not done. I could see it in her face. I could hear it in her voice. So, she said, how do you even say it? Kalan? Selan? It is confusing. I took a slow breath. It is pronounced Kalan, I said. She repeated it, but in a strange way. Kalan, she said, like it was a joke. Then she smiled again. Not a kind smile, a sharp smile. It still looks wrong, she said. I felt that tight feeling again, stronger this time. My chest felt heavy. My head felt warm. It is not wrong, I said. It is just different. She shook her head. Different is not always good, she said. I looked at her. I could not believe she said that. I felt surprised. I felt angry. Different is not always good. Those words stayed in my mind. They echoed again and again. I thought about my grandmother. I thought about her stories. I thought about my culture. Was that not good too? I did not want to fight. I kept telling myself that. I just wanted to leave, but my body did not move. I stayed in my seat. I think names should be simple, she continued. Easy to read, easy to say. I said nothing. She kept talking. You are making life harder for him, she said, for no reason. That hurt. That really hurt. I looked at Kalen again. He was trying to stack sugar packets, one on top of another. They kept falling. He laughed every time. He did not feel the weight of her words, but I did. I am not making his life harder, I said slowly. I am giving him something meaningful. She sighed like she was tired of me. It just sounds like you want attention, she said. That was too much. I felt something change inside me. Something broke a little. I felt heat rise in my face. My hands were not just shaking now. They were tight. Very tight. I do not want attention, I said. I just love his name. She looked at me like she did not believe me. Sure, she said. There was another pause. A heavy one. I could hear the coffee machine. I could hear people talking in the background, but everything felt far away, like I was in a small bubble with her. Just her voice, just her words. Then she laughed again. You know, she said, people online would destroy that name. I frowned. What do you mean? I asked. There are groups, she said. They talk about bad names. They call them tragedy names. This would fit perfectly there. I felt my stomach drop. She was not just sharing an opinion. She was mocking. She was making fun of my son, my child. I looked at Kalen. He looked back at me with big eyes, soft eyes, trusting eyes. I felt protective, very protective. That is rude, I said quietly. She shrugged again. It is just the truth, she said. No, I said, a little louder now. It is your opinion, not the truth. She raised her eyebrows. Wow, she said. You're getting upset. Of course I was upset, but she said it like it was funny, like my feelings were a joke. I am not upset, I said, even though I was. I just want you to stop. She leaned back again. Stop what? She asked. Stop talking about his name, I said. She crossed her arms. I can say what I want, she said. I felt my heart beat faster. Boom! 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 Yes, I said, but you can also choose to be kind. She did not answer right away. She just looked at me. Then she smiled again. That same smile. I am being honest, she said. Honest. Another word that did not feel good. People often use that word when they want to be mean. I knew that. I had seen it before. Honest does not mean kind, I said. She laughed softly. You are very sensitive, she said. That word again. Sensitive. I felt small. I felt angry. I felt tired. I am a mother, I said. Of course I care. She rolled her eyes. All this for a name, she said. Not just a name. It was not just a name. It was my family, my history, my love, my choice. You don't understand, I said. You are right, she said. I don't understand why you would do that to your child. That was it. That sentence hit me hard. Very hard. Do that to your child, like I hurt him, like I made a bad choice, like I was a bad mother. I felt something rise inside me, fast and strong. I could not stop it now. My chest felt tight. My throat felt hot. I looked at her, straight at her. Please, I said, my voice shaking a little. Just stop. But she did not stop. She opened her mouth again. And I knew something was about to happen. She did not stop. She looked at me and shook her head again, slowly, like she was disappointed in me. I just feel bad for him, she said. Really, he will have to explain that name his whole life. Something inside me snapped a little more. I felt heat in my face. I felt it in my neck. My hands were tight. My jaw was tight. Everything felt tight. He will not suffer because of his name, I said. But he will, she said quickly. Kids laugh. People judge. That is real life. I felt my heart beat faster. Boom, boom, boom. I know real life, I said. She leaned forward again. Then you should make smarter choices, she said. That word, smarter. It felt like she was saying I was stupid, like I did not think, like I did not care. But I did care. I cared so much. I looked at Kalen again. He was quiet now. He was not tapping the spoon anymore. He was looking between me and the woman. His small face looked confused. My heart hurt. I did not want him to feel this. I did not want him to hear this. Please stop, I said again. This time my voice was stronger, not soft, not quiet. But she kept going. You could have picked something normal, she said. Something easy. But no, you had to be different. Different again. That word felt heavy now, heavy and sharp. I like being different, I said. She laughed. You might like it, she said, but your child might not. That hurt more than anything, because for 1 second, just 1 second, I felt doubt. A small voice in my head said, what if she is right? I hated that voice. I pushed it away. I did not want it. I did not believe it. I took a deep breath. I looked at Kalen. He smiled at me again. A small smile, a soft smile. That was enough. I felt strong again. I felt clear. No, I said firmly. He will be proud of his name. She rolled her eyes again. We will see, she said. There was a silence, a heavy silence. Then she said it again. That name is a tragedy. This time she said it slowly, like she wanted it to hurt more. And it did. It really did. I felt something break inside me. Not a small crack, a loud break. I could not hold it in anymore. I leaned forward too. My voice came out before I could stop it. Can you just stop talking? I said louder now. The cafe became quiet. Not fully quiet, but quieter. People started to look at us. She blinked. She looked surprised, but only for a second. Wow, she said. You are really upset. Yes, I said. I am. I did not hide it anymore. I did not try to be calm anymore. I asked you to stop, I said, many times. She crossed her arms again. I am just talking, she said. No, I said. You are being rude. Her face changed a little. Not much, but I saw it. I am being honest, she said again. I felt anger rise again. I don't care, I said. You don't need to say everything you think. She opened her mouth to speak again, but this time, I did not let her. Enough, I said. My voice was strong now, very strong. Just stop. Please. Stop talking about my child. The word child felt heavy in my mouth. Important. Serious. She looked at me. Her eyes were a little wider now. You don't have to be so dramatic, she said. Dramatic. Another word. Another push. That was the moment. I felt everything come together. All the small hurts. All the small comments. All the small insults. They became one big feeling, and it came out. Just be quiet, I said sharply. Please, just be quiet. My voice was not soft anymore. It was not polite. It was not calm. It was real. The cafe went even quieter now. I could feel eyes on me, on us. The woman stared at me. Then she leaned back slowly. Wow, she said. That was too much. Too much. I almost laughed, but I didn't. Too much. After everything she said? After everything she did? I felt my chest rise and fall, fast, slow, fast again. I asked you nicely, I said, many times. She shook her head. You overreacted, she said. I could not believe it. You kept talking, I said. You would not stop. She shrugged. It is just a name, she said. I looked at her. I felt tired. So tired. No, I said quietly. It is not. I stood up slowly. My legs felt a little weak, but I stood. I picked up my bag. I helped Kalen out of his chair. He held my hand. His hand was small, warm. Mama, he said softly. I'm here, I said. I looked at the woman one last time. She was already looking away, like nothing happened, like it was not important. But it was important to me, very important. I turned and walked away. My heart was still beating fast. My hands were still shaking, and my mind was full of her words, full of my words, full of one question. Did I go too far? I walked out of the cafe with Kalen's small hand in mine. The air outside felt cool. It touched my face. It helped a little. But inside, I still felt hot. I still felt shaky. We walked slowly down the street. I did not speak at first. I just walked, step by step. I could hear my own breathing. In and out. In and out. Mama, Kalen said again. I looked down at him. His eyes were soft, a little confused, a little worried. "I'm here," I said again. I tried to smile, a small smile. "You okay?" he asked in his simple voice. That question hit me in a gentle way. It made my chest feel tight, but also warm. "I'm okay," I said. "I'm just a little tired." I felt tired, very tired, not just in my body, in my heart. We stopped near a small park. There was a bench under a tree. I sat down. Kalen climbed next to me. He leaned on my arm. I put my hand on his hair. Soft hair, warm head. I closed my eyes for a moment. The woman's voice came back to me. Her words, again and again. Strange. Not normal. Tragedy. I opened my eyes. I looked at Kalen. "Do you like your name?" I asked softly. He smiled right away. "Yes," he said. "Why?" I asked. He thought for a moment. Then he said, "Because it's mine." I felt something inside me melt, just a little. Because it's mine. So simple, so clear. I smiled. A real smile this time. "That's a good reason," I said. He laughed, a small, happy laugh. Then he jumped down from the bench and ran to the grass. He started to chase a leaf. Just a leaf, nothing special. But he laughed like it was the best thing in the world. I watched him. I felt calm. Slowly, slowly, I felt calm again. But my mind still had that question. Did I go too far? I thought about it again. I went over everything in my head. Her words. My words. The way my voice changed. The way people looked at me. Maybe I was loud, maybe I was sharp. But I also remembered something else. I asked her to stop. Many times. I stayed calm at the start. I tried to be kind. I tried to explain. I tried. But she did not stop. She kept pushing. Again and again. I took a deep breath. I am not wrong for protecting my child, I said quietly to myself. The words felt strong. They felt right. I watched Kalen again. He picked up the leaf. He brought it to me. "Look, Mama," he said. "It's beautiful," I said. He smiled big, so proud, so happy. I realized something in that moment. He does not need a simple name. He does not need a normal name. He needs love. He needs support. He needs confidence. And I can give him that. I can teach him to stand tall. I can teach him to be proud. Proud of who he is. Proud of his name. I leaned down and kissed his head. "I love your name," I said. "I love it too," he said again. We sat there for a while. The wind moved the trees. The sky looked soft and gray. Everything felt quiet again. Later, I stood up. "Let's go home," I said. "Okay," he said. We walked together again. This time, my steps felt lighter. When I got home, I made tea. I sat by the window again. The same place where I once wrote names on paper. I thought about my grandmother. Names carry history. Names carry love. I smiled. She was right. Kalen's name carries love, and no one can take that away. I thought about the woman again, just for a moment. Maybe she did not understand. Maybe she never will. But that is okay. Not everyone needs to understand. Not everyone needs to agree. I took a sip of tea, warm, calm, soft. I felt peaceful again. That night, I tucked Kalen into bed. I pulled the blanket up. I brushed his hair back. "Good night, Kalen," I said. "Good night, Mama," he said. I turned off the light. I stood at the door for a second. I watched him, safe, quiet, sleeping. Then I whispered one more time, "Your name is perfect." I closed the door slowly, and in that quiet moment, I understood something very clear. Moral lesson: people will always have opinions. Some will be kind, some will hurt. But not every opinion matters. You have the right to protect what you love. You have the right to speak. And sometimes standing up is not too much. It is necessary.